8 scary social media mistakes you are making to drive your customers away. You cannot underestimate the leverage social media platforms give to an individual, an institution, or even just the average user on any social media platform, probably interacting with friends and family. But let's get it right. The social media approach isn't a one-size-fits-all technique. Even the tool itself is constantly upgraded to meet the evolving nature and demand of the new and dynamic ways of doing things, style and overall enhancement, value, and role play. You may not be aware that there may be habits that you indulge in that could slow your progress within the social media space. Here, we'll list 8 mistakes you may be committing in hindsight on social media that could impede your growth or overall objectives, and guaranteed tips and solutions that could assist in changing the narrative. Before we get into it, be sure to watch until the end of the video to find out how you can enter to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Number 1. Inconsistency. I cannot stress this enough. Not being consistent sends an appalling message across to the people who view your page. It usually projects an image that seems to say you aren't even interested in your brand or what you stand for. Being consistent shows you're constantly up on the move. It'll give a lot of insight into what you stand for. Remember, what you consistently put out there determines how your audience will view you as a brand. Just imagine when you log onto a brand page, for example, and realize that the last time they posted had been several months ago. You will even wonder if they are still in business. More so, consistency will project your page concurrently anytime an individual thinks about your product or service. Hence, you'll come to mind since chances are your post and activities will pop up on your timeline frequently. Number 2. Not choosing quality over quantity. I know this may sound contradictory to the very first point I just elaborated on. You are supposed to find a good balance between the quality of what you post versus the frequency of posting on your page. It's better to be concise, brief, straight to the point with what you post than to seem to post many things at a time that doesn't necessarily project what you stand for as an individual or a brand. With time, your audience gets bored of the very things which are supposed to get their attention. Remember to choose quality over quantity any day. Number 3. Not having a clear objective. The saying, "if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail," sums it all up here. Social media is a tool, so however you decide to use it should reflect an objective. Setting a purpose will direct you towards what your focus and targets should be on. The very activities you should instill to attain that objective. Setting a specific goal will help you to determine if you're on the right path, track your growth, and emphasize which areas you should be putting much effort into. Number 4. Not being open to constructive criticism. More often than not, people tend to delete hate or pessimistic comments on their pages. Instead, you should be available to complaints that seek to put you on the right track. There's no static way of doing things, so you can't have all the ideas there are in the world. You can only align these criticisms to your objectives and try to make them count the most. I often say that don't go attacking the critic, but instead use that criticism and work on the very thing you're being criticized for. Once you work on that, you'll take the good out of the bad, which will help you evolve. Number 5. Not engaging your audience enough. Certain audiences will see your post, skip the information on the post, yet come down to the comments section and ask the very questions that have been answered on that same post. You're tired of that, right? Think about it again. It's called engaging your audience. The very people who you hope to serve your products or services. You have to make it a point to be available and answer all the questions the audience may ask about a said post. Note the responses should be swift because you know no one technically sleeps on the internet all day. Before we continue, if you are loving this content, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Number 6. Not projecting a face for your brand. Many people online who run businesses fall short of this. Let your audience get to know you or the team players who are behind a particular brand name. This promotes trust to help take away any doubt that the audience may have. A new or returning client will be at ease seeing the person behind the page they are dealing with. You don't want anyone thinking you've got something negative up your sleeves by making it seemingly difficult to fish out basic information about you. Many businesses do not have information on the individuals representing them online, which is unfortunate. The majority of customers these days go beyond the business page and research the people behind the brand. Number 7. Being robotic about the things you post. As I stated early on, being successful within the social media space doesn't require a one-size-fits-all approach. You can occasionally post relatable things. This helps you connect with people on an emotional level. They understand and relate to you and draw your attention to specific details you may not be aware of. In addition, you can occasionally post a behind-the-scenes picture or video to give your audience an insight into what goes on behind the scenes. Number 8. Forgetting to use good visuals. You miss the entire point if you ignore details. Your aesthetics, pictures, videos should be crisp and not blurry. A very good visual does a lot of magic even before the audience is convinced about purchasing an item. The social media users are drawn to visuals. Our attention is drawn to what we see online regardless of who we follow and unfollow. An outstanding image projects professionalism, and every consumer will want to work with an institution they believe is professional. Hey, I didn't forget about telling you how to enter for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. To enter, be sure to visit our website. 2 lucky winners will be chosen every month. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description for details. It's no secret that the chances of social media skyrocketing your business are very high since it exposes you to a broader range of audiences. Your responsibility here is to optimize the endless options it seeks to present and utilize its helpful tools in enhancing your objectives as to why you set up the page in the first place. If you have any questions related to what you are doing wrong, drop them in the comments section and I would be glad to help you. This is the end of today's session. See you next time. Bye.